You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, everyone. So glad you're with us here on this Friday, so close to that week. And now I'm Eric Conrad.
And I'm Neda Irampour. And as you know, of course, tomorrow's Veterans Day. Today, a lot of people have the day off. Schools with San Diego Unified are off today. So people will be out and about, that's for sure. And we want to know what kind of weather we can expect for this weekend.
It is going to be another beautiful weekend out there. Santa Anas, though, are going to kind of affect our, humidity out there, keep things very dry. So a couple things to kind of hold on to as we head into the weekend. Number one, it's going to be gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous, dry, comfortable each afternoon. But cold overnight low temperatures as we're working with this morning. And we're also going to be seeing that for both Saturday and Sunday, that relative humidity values drop down. So that's going to spike our fire danger. CAL FIRE will be on high alert over the course of it. We are 14 minutes, about 13 minutes now, shy of sunrise, but we're still letting a lot of that light through. You're looking south toward Mission Bay, and it's just a gorgeous start to the day. But temperatures are chilly out there. 31 right now. We're sub-freezing in Ramona. 41 for Poway, 52 for Carlsbad. As we get toward the afternoon, though, temperatures will make their way into the 70s. It'll be a nice, comfortable, warm afternoon. And then coming up, we'll talk about the possibility of some wet weather rolling into the forecast as we get toward about the middle of next week. Still pretty far out for us to be pinning down on any specifics, but we can give you the very general, broad picture of it in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Ooh, the 30s and 40s. All right, Evan, thank you. And a heads up to all of you who are headed southbound into Tijuana this morning. Expect traffic. Those border crossing times have doubled, even tripled in recent weeks. So this is how things looked just last night. Yeah,
wait times have also been long for people crossing into San Diego. And we just checked the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website. Right now, 90 minutes at the San Ysidro port of entry, 50 minutes at the Otay Mesa port of entry.
So we do want to check in with CBS 8's Regina Yurita. She's joining us live in San Ysidro now to explain what's causing all of that traffic. A lot of people do this commute, Regina.
Yeah, well, we're getting learning more information about this situation. So basically, what's affecting some commuters is actually on the southbound side heading into Mexico. So last night we noticed commuters, they were backed up for miles before the border crossing. Some had to wait almost 2 hours. Now, we did talk to Smart Border Coalition, and we asked them what's been going on. Why is there so much traffic during that time?
We have CBP inspections heading southbound. We have the construction. We have fewer lanes open. And we have more than 45,000 cars heading back into Tijuana through San Ysidro and El Chaparral. You're asking for not the best situation as far as southbound border wait times.
So to give you more details on what he's saying, there's currently an overpass construction project in Mexico near the border wall. That's what's impacting southbound traffic. It's called the Viaducto Elevado project. It plans to connect Playa de Tijuana to the airport. This is one of the major roadways for traffic. It's why people are pretty upset. In the past few weeks, it's become a traffic nightmare just to travel back into Mexico. People normally already experience congestion at border crossings, especially during prime traffic hours. There's also thousands of cars that cross the border every day. Now, we are being told the construction is expected to shut down lanes in Tijuana for the next 4 to 6 months. With the holidays coming up, there's even more concern that the long wait times can intensify. A spokesperson for Customs and Border Protection says they do typically see more travelers around the holidays, so they're planning to boost staffing at the border to try to keep up with the demand. Now, back out here live, we've been monitoring traffic on the southbound side. It's still pretty early, so traffic seems to be running very smoothly. But again, it is Friday, like Neda and Eric just mentioned. It's Veterans Day weekend, so for some people that means heading to Mexico, and they're going to be met with some slight traffic, definitely in the evening. Now, in the next half hour, you're going to hear from commuters who have been really struggling with this congestion and how much they've been waiting just to cross into Mexico every day after work. I'm reporting at the border. Regina Yurita, CBS 8.
Regina, thank you. Border officials say they are temporarily expanding Calexico port of entry hours ahead of the holidays. Starting Monday, CBP says it will operate sentry lanes at the west port of entry 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's part of its 2-month pilot program. And don't forget, check the wait times before crossing. You can do so on the CBP website or on the app.
And we do have an update this morning. The water contact closure for Imperial Beach, Silver Strand, and Tijuana shorelines has now been extended further up north. So this now includes Avenida Lunar in Coronado. This is all because of bacteria. The San Diego County Department of Environmental Health and Quality says ocean water samples have been found to contain sewage coming from the Tijuana River from Mexico, and this can cause you to get sick. Not just people, but animals too. County officials say the area will remain closed until sampling and field observations confirm that the areas are safe for water contact once the bacteria clears. So again, further up north into Coronado also, you'll notice those signs. We will be taking an in-depth look at the South Bay sewage crisis during an Earth 8 special this month. It is called Cross-Border Contamination, the impact on people's health, the economy, why nothing has improved in decades. This all airs Saturday, November 18th at 4 p.m. right here on CBS 8.
This morning, concerns are being raised over a proposed homeless shelter that would be created on city property adjacent to Lindbergh Field. A community meeting was held on this last night involving people who live nearby in Point Loma and Liberty Station, as well as a representative for Mayor Todd Gloria. The temporary shelter would provide shelter for 700 of San Diego's homeless once an abandoned military barracks is demolished. But people who live nearby are worried about safety and other issues.
Location. You're right next to the airport and you're right next to Liberty Station, which is growing overnight as a well sought out tourist spot.
The site is already being prepared for demolition. Whether it becomes a shelter or not, it will be home to a pure water facility in 5 years. This morning, we have an update on a story we have been following since September. Hundreds of small animals from the San Diego Humane Society went missing in Arizona. Well, now we have confirmed that the man the animals were sold to had the intention of using them as feed for reptiles. The San Diego Humane Society says it was overcrowded, so they sent the small animals to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. They were gone so fast from that shelter that it aroused suspicion. An investigation has shown many of them were sent to a man who sells live and frozen small animals as reptile food. In fact, new text messages from that man sent a day after receiving the animals shows him seeking help in processing a high volume of guinea pigs and rabbits for food. Both humane societies are still investigating, and legal action may be coming.
That was not the intention of our local Humane Society. Well, Chula Vista City Councilwoman Andrea Cardenas is not stepping down this morning despite facing fraud charges. She pleaded not guilty alongside her brother yesterday. You'll see them here in this video walking into the courthouse. This was something we covered throughout the day. Investigators say the councilwoman and Jesus Cardenas lied to get a $176,000 PPP loan during the pandemic. The DA's office says they used more than $30,000 to pay off her campaign debt. The siblings are due back in court in January. We have an update this morning as healthcare workers at Kaiser Permanente have ratified a new contract. The contract passed with more than 98% of the vote. Union leaders say the 4-year deal will boost patient safety, make investments in the workforce, and set a higher standard for the healthcare industry nationwide. This comes after Kaiser workers walked off the job for 3 days last month.
Right now, evacuation orders and road closures are lifted in Oceanside. A brush fire came close to homes yesterday afternoon. It broke out near Marin Road and College Boulevard, forcing some people from their homes and even slowing the evening commute on the 78. In fact, I saw the fire helicopters above heading over there. Crews were able to quickly put out that fire before it reached any homes. As of this morning, it's not clear how that fire started, but you can see the smoke very close to those homes. Great work by those firefighters. Right. Yet again, we've seen a half dozen or so of these brush fires quickly put out by our crews here in San Diego.
They send the trucks and the helicopters fast because they know, I mean, obviously you've been talking about Santa Ana's. Yeah. So that just usually tends to, they overstaff to make sure that they're ready for all this.
And we've seen, that they have tackled pretty much every fire that has popped up with a lot of crews very quickly. And I mean, that's how we know that those fires are able to be put out quickly because, I mean, the second you keep your eye off of one of those, it can just spread so rapidly. They know how fast that can happen. So it's 6:09 on the clock right now. Today's going to be our brief break. We get Friday today as a very, very brief break from offshore winds. Onshore flow will resume briefly. So what that's going to mean for us is a sea breeze, clouds building along the coast, higher humidity values. It's a one-day break because Saturday and Sunday, we're going to head back to Santa Ana's. Temperatures out the door right now, like we talked about just a few minutes ago, 30s and 40s out there. It's chilly, and this is the about third morning in a row where we've watched those overnight low temperatures drop So it's a much colder start to the day than it was yesterday, or especially compared to 48 and 72 hours ago. Oceanside is 11 degrees cooler right now compared to 24 hours ago. Carlsbad 6 degrees cooler, 5 degrees cooler in Escondido. So these big changes that we have on hand go to show we're going to continue to see over the course of the weekend very chilly early mornings and then warm afternoons. Afternoon conditions, they're comfortable, they're mild, they're dry. Look at your beach forecast for Saturday and Sunday. It is November. This is why people come to San Diego in November, because we've got 70s along our coastline for Saturday and Sunday. Inland, we could be moving toward the low 80s out there. It's going to be very comfortable, but dry, and that fire danger will be high. Enjoy it while you can, because take a look. Between now and Sunday, we're going to see those temperatures climb with Santa Ana's. Trough of low pressure sinks in by the middle of next week, starts to drop our temperatures down, and gives us very good indication that around this time, about Thursday through Sunday, we could start to see some wet weather roll in. So this time next week could be a much different situation. Cooler, cloudier, and likely some rain in the forecast too. Let's check in on how your roads are looking as we start off your 6 o'clock hour. It's 6:11 on the clock right now, and so far there are no major crashes or collisions on the road. We'll keep you up to date here, but so far things are pretty quiet out there.